Good morning, everybody. We're going to do this morning. It is Tuesday the 4th. We're going to take a look at some FX pairs because I didn't get to Sunday, unfortunately. So we'll take a look at some of them this morning. Welcome, everybody who has showed up. Thank you for being here. We are going to check out some other things as well. We're going to look at Bitcoin, the dollar, Ethereum, DOGE, basically anything that's popping off this morning. So glad you guys could make it. Paul, Ed, Giles, everybody, thank you for showing up. All right, so let's get on with this. Let's go look at the dollar first, the DXY. All right, so you can see Friday we had a big pop on the dollar. Yesterday was essentially just a pullback move on that asset. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. The early bird gets the worm. All right, so basically yesterday was a pullback on the dollar. I was wanting to see this absolutely fail up here at this daily resistance. However, you did get a closure above it, but remember, I don't necessarily like it when it just barely closes above resistance, as that could usually be a fake out move. However, we pulled back roughly to the midpoint of Friday's break, or a big bullish candle, and you are seeing follow through on that move this morning. So first level of resistance that we're going to look for is 91.627. This level right here. So basically we have a ton of space from this area to this area to possibly look for setups as the dollar is moving higher. Now there is this swing low down here that might catch resistance, I guess you could say. As you can see, this level here, or this candle and this candle caught it, but it would probably be easier just to say that it caught the midpoint of this candle, as once you break these levels and close beneath them, generally they're done, they're used up, they're over with. As price trades on a second by second, day by day, that's the way it trades. It's going on orders that are coming in right now, not orders that came in last week. So basically, well, obviously there are old orders setting at these levels as well, but you get the gist. So the midpoint of this bearish candle could be what's causing a little bit of resistance right here. So we will watch it. Obviously, this is a daily chart, so we don't have any daily closure over Friday's candle yet. So, but it does look like it is attempting to do so. If you go into a smaller time frame chart, you can see that you are basically trading right at the level of resistance. So essentially going into the New York Open this morning, I will be waiting to see if this thing starts to climb higher or if it starts to head lower, as that will be basically the directional bias for today. So if we go over to the Euro chart, you can see this trend line that I have here coming in from the January highs, also tacked to this February the 25th high. You can see we did get a daily closure above that, two daily closures above that level, and then Friday, boom, big huge drop down. A candle like this generally comes with some follow through. This isn't a bearish engulfing or an outside day candle, but what it does show you is a ton of momentum heading to the downside. Now, I have a level down here at 1.19790, as this asset is still bullish in my opinion until we get daily closures below that level. But we can wait and look and maybe take a scalp to the downside or the upside, depending on if it gives us a setup. I do not like taking trades when I'm looking for intraday setups, scalps per se, intraday range expansions. I don't like taking trades near the low or the high of the day, as I'm only looking for the low or high of day to get taken out. So basically, if we go into a smaller time frame chart, you can see right here, if we try to go short this thing, you are already trying to short an overextended daily range expansion. So we could see some sideways consolidation for the next day or two on the euro, as it had a massive move to the downside. It is showing pretty good amount of weakness, right? But you still haven't closed below this bearish candle either. Obviously, today will tell us what's going on. So basically, I'm probably going to scratch the euro today, unless it pulls back to a decent level where we can get at least a 20 or 30 pip target aiming for the low of day. I am absolutely not looking for a high day test on this, as you got this 4-hour closure below your last bearish close, the lowest bearish close on the near-term chart, which is 20062. This bearish candle on a 4-hour basis, this is a 4-hour chart, intraday chart. You can see this was the lowest price you were able to close a 4-hour candle since this candle closed. You can see on this bearish candle, you did not close there. Did not. This one did. This one closed below this level. This is a support break on a 4-hour basis. All right. So we're not looking for bullish setups today. This can absolutely reverse out of here and go higher, but the momentum is to the downside. And if you try to fight against momentum, in my experience, a lot of times your trades will not work out appropriately. So we're going to give the euro some time to play out. Let's go look at the pound real fast. As the pound didn't show nearly as much weakness as the euro, however, we did get a daily breach on that Friday below our support level right here on a daily closing basis. This was a pullback on yesterday. It was a big pullback. If you take a fib from Friday's price action, the range of Friday's candle, you can see you tested all the way up into the 786 level of that range expansion. So basically that's generally, and you closed the daily above the 618. So this one's not really showing that much weakness as the euro is. So if we go into a smaller time frame, we can see that we are basically in the middle of a nice little range here, right? We got a daily high right here. This is your daily low as of right now. This was yesterday. Oh, wait. Yeah, this was yesterday. This was yesterday's London open candle. This was today's London open candle. So where's price going to go? We're going to let it tell us. What you can do is you can watch this level right here for rejection, or go to a smaller time frame and find some hourly candles and look for rejections. I got one right here at one spot 39030. If you get up there and you close above this swing high, then look for a pullback, right? And you can possibly target this long up here, looking for this high to get taken out. Or you can look for bearishness if you want. The near-term trend is slightly down, right? The longer-term trend has been up and sideways at best. So basically what I'm saying is, if you're looking for an intraday range expansion, this is what you want to look for. You want to look for something that's basically trading higher above the daily low, or just beneath the daily high, like this. You're basically in the middle of the range, so you can choose either or direction. But remember, usually coming off of big days, when you have a big range expansion, you will get some sideways chop, as you will be in price discovery. Okay, so moving on, the pound will be on my watch list this morning. I still yet have not decided which direction I want to take this trade, but luckily for us, it's only 5:40 a.m. on the East Coast. We will be waiting until approximately the hour before the New York Open, and by that time we should have just a little bit more clarity. If we don't, then obviously we will not do anything. Pound yen. Let's go look at the pound yen, as I wanted to talk about the every yen pair last week. We were moving higher on the yen. We seen some nice yen weakness for 2 weeks basically. So this is 2 weeks. This was last week and a little bit of last week and the week prior. So this is obviously bullishness. Basically the yen is weak. The pound was not that strong last week, but we still had a move to the upside. I am still long on the pound yen from a position that I took a couple weeks ago. I forgot about that when I said on the Crypto Weekly Outlook this Saturday that I had no open trades. I completely forgot about the pound yen trade. It is still running. It is just 1/3 of the original position size that I started to trade with. All right. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Good morning, chat. How's everybody doing this morning? Nice. Good morning, Ray, Philip, KF. Dogecoin, please. We are going to get to that, my friend. I promise you. Promise you. All right, let's go look at the Aussie. Oh, basically, I didn't even talk about pound yen. All right, let's talk about pound yen. So pound yen is showing us a willingness to trade higher with that yen weakness. We are trading above our daily resistance So this is now support. You did get a daily closure beneath that support. However, you traded right back above it. So basically, I'm going to be looking for longs on the pound yen. I will stop looking for longs on the pound yen, obviously, if we take out this daily candle with a bearish close, because then you will be right back inside of this price leg, meaning you are essentially range bound, and you can get chopped up in range bound markets. So yeah, it looks okay. It looks like it wants to move higher. You're above all your major moving averages on a daily closing basis. The trend is to the upside. A lot of people are looking at this as a kind of sort of like a blow off top on the pound yen, and it's getting ready to roll over. Excuse me. It did have a nasty, beautiful move to the upside and has been basically chopping back and forth up here since, well, let's go ahead and call it February the 26th. Once this low was put in, made this high, and you've been basically sideways ever since. But you are above the major moving averages. The only way and the only reason I use moving averages is to show you momentum on the charts. It is not an indicator that you want to use for taking trades on. All right, just because it tests it does not give you a level to take a trade off of it, unless it is lined up perfectly with an actual price level of a daily close or open. So you are trading above the major moving averages. Everything looks nice and bullish for this asset, other than the fact that it's trading sideways up here. But the fact that it did not take out this low when we pushed into it, you can see here how beautiful this setup was, right? Boom. And then you trade it out of there. So right now, I'll be looking for pullback entries on the pound yen to basically get back in this asset with a full size position. Good morning, Ajith. Ajith says smash the like, so would you please oblige him? Thank you very much. Good morning, Jay Bradley. All right, so that's the pound yen. Looking for bullish setups on the pound yen for the week to come. Aussie was a little bit weak, but it's basically this. I do not like this price action. Right? Look at this. This is what I call piano keys. When you're printing daily opens and closes right next to each other for a week or two, it is in price discovery. There's no two ways about it. So basically what I have right here, this was a target, but it never even got up there. So this is the daily structure to the downside, or your support level. If we get down here, like a strong push beneath it, then you look for retests to it at 77059, and then you would look to get short on a test of that level, as long as it is failing on an hourly closing basis, right? So this is what we're watching on the Aussie dollar. We're looking to see if this thing breaks down to the downside today. It looks like it wants to, all right? For this last price action, this looks like a retest of old support. It's a beautiful test of old support. Now it's resistance, right? Boom, there it is. Let me spread it out so you guys on mobile can see. So once you broke out beneath this level here, you took out your old resistance, turned into, or old support. Now you came back up to test to see if it wants to hold as resistance, and so far it has, with a strong push to the downside, right? But you are testing this support right here. But I would be watching this main lowest swing, because this is your lowest price point. So that is going to be the support on this asset. Looking for this to break down, come back in on a retest, and that is when the position will be looked to be put on. It can go up and break out to the upside too, but while it's inside of this area, there is nothing to do. All right. Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is Aussie stronger than New Zealand dollar right now, right? Because you've been strong so far this week. You took out bullish targets that I had on for last week. This was a bullish target. You have hit that target. I did not take the trade. This is your daily resistance level, 1.07839. Look for a retest of this level if you want to look for longs on this asset. Let's see what the momentum looks like. Well, you are now trading above your moving averages, but you can see how they're fanned out, and then they're starting to come back in. I don't know if I'd be looking for longs. It does look like it's trying to go higher. I would assume that if the bears were in control, they would have got in it right now as you took out this liquidity, but the price seems to be moving higher. You are testing another area of possible resistance right now. All right. So if you want to look for taking a long on a retest of 1.07839, in my opinion, that would, as of right now, be the way to go. Only because of how the momentum indicators are situated. And that's Aussie, New Zealand. Not NZD, USD is looking weaker. So what we were looking for on the Aussie, we can currently look for that on this asset as well. We can see. We'll see. All right. This morning in the trading room, we'll take a look at it and see once we get to there. If this thing comes back up and retests this level right here, we might be looking for this thing to roll over. Can't take a short on it now because you are trading at the low of day into support. This is your last bearish close at this price. So you are trading beneath support, but at support. All right. This is an old level. It can go away. So this will be the level to watch for a retest. Let's get rid of this. Throw this on here like so. Boom. So not this level. This is your current support that you are fighting to break through. So let's go look at this like this. Basically, you want to see something like this. A retracement back into 0.71624 and a rejection, right? You can trade a wick up as high as 71689. But you probably won't make it up there as the momentum is pretty strong to the downside. You have several hourly candles in a row. It is time for a pullback. I will be watching 0.71624 for possible short entries on the New Zealand dollar. All right, and this is just for daily range expansion, guys. So the trade might not happen today, might happen tomorrow, might not ever happen. But I'm not looking for this to be a sell-off in the New Zealand versus the dollar. Not yet. All right? But we will be looking for intraday range expansions. All right, let's go look at the Bitcoin. All right, so basically last night I was playing around with this price leg, this main price leg here. It's just, if you look at it as one price leg, you can see that you are retesting the 618, which is why I feel like we got some selling pressure. The dollar is moving up as well, right? When you're trading Bitcoin USD, you're trading Bitcoin versus the dollar. And if the dollar is stronger, then Bitcoin will go down. So, but I seen Brandon doing a message in the Discord this morning and said, when you finally realize that you've missed one of his charts but then pick them yourself, good for you guys. That's what this whole channel is about. You can see you traded right down into daily support. That's what level we were watching. You have pulled into that. You are not getting the strong bounce I want to see out of it. I want to see this bearish 4-hour candles high taken out to the upside to basically identify that this is a support test and hold. As of right now, this looks like a retest or a dead cat bounce. I wish there was another name for that. As I love cats, I have 2 of them. But anyways, this right now is essentially a dead cat bounce coming off of your daily support level. I generally look for small bounces on these levels. These main big levels like this, they generally create a tradable move. Meaning, if you take a trade into one of these main levels, you are only looking for that small bounce away, at which point you will take your profits and bail, because chances are it's coming back to your entry at some point, right? One test isn't generally enough. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it ain't. So right now it's basically just consolidating off of this support test. We will see what goes on. Here is your 4-hour resistance level that you got to get above, 56629, 56629. See a 4-hour closure above that. In my opinion, it's heading back higher again. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. Let me rephrase this, because everybody's going to take this as a bearish narrative, and it's not. I am not bearish on Bitcoin. I'm absolutely bullish on Bitcoin. I am bullish on Bitcoin until we get a daily closure below 53,580. And that doesn't mean that I'm no longer bullish on Bitcoin. That just means that we have to wait on price to discover which way it wants to go. Because I feel as if, though, if we lose this level, then that means the sellers are in more control than the bulls. But this could still be a pullback looking for lower prices, as you have another daily support level down here at 50110, 5110, right? And this price leg is still intact. It's when you lose this low and this low mainly is when, yeah, you're coming down here to test this weekly level at 45231. All right, 45231. This was your weekly close. Then you got a weekly close above it, right? So as of right now, look at this weekly in comparison to this weekly's price range, the actual size of it. See how tiny it is? It is only Tuesday. However, does this look more like a bullish pullback to you, or does it look like bearish failure? I'll let you be the judge of that. To me, this looks like a pullback on the weekly, and this thing's getting ready to push higher. Right? That's what I think. I could be wrong, guys. I can absolutely be wrong. I am not afraid to admit I do take losing trades sometimes. All right. Let's go look at ETH, and then I will finish off with the massive trade that I am in right now with the Doge coin. Loving it. That thing is on freaking fire, as well as this asset on fire. This thing has just broke out, and it is see ya later. Later. Man, that thing was a massive breakout. This is bullish strength. This is what you want to see. When you come up to approach a resistance level and you see failure, then you get your daily break and close above. You want to see retests. Those are your opportunities to get long on the breakout. You don't buy the breakout ever, as it could be a fake out. You could be just scrapping the liquidity up here and then rolling back over. That is not what we got on ETH. This was a chance to get bullish on it, as you didn't even test your support or your old resistance. It got front ran, and now you are trading up here at 33,554 or 33.54, sorry. Now, here's a daily range. This is your daily candle. Look at this. Boom. Midpoint of the breakout, or not the breakout, but midpoint of this leading candle. You are so far holding support. This thing is super strong. Super strong. Let's see if we can get a... I don't know if I can. I was going to try to get a measured move out of it, but it's difficult, as this is your only pullback. So maybe from here. Let's see what it looks like anyways. From this bearish candle up to the high, down to this high. Boom. All right, so you've already moved one standard deviation from that, right? Right there was your one standard deviation. Got a nice strong daily close B above it, right? Now you're testing your 1.68. This up here is 2 standard deviations away from this measured move to the upside, meaning it is extended, and you will want to wait on a pullback, a return to the mean, so to speak, before you look for bullish entries on this asset. It is looking extremely bullish. Unfortunately, this train has left the station. It is too late to try to get in on it. When you're trading almost 2 standard deviations from your breakout of an all-time high, there's a chance that you're going to get a pullback of some sort. Could be a weekly pullback, or even longer, a monthly pullback like what we're seeing on Bitcoin. Let's go look at the ETH monthly chart. ETH monthly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monthly bullish candles. 6 if you count this one. 8 if you count this one in a row without one single pullback. You can argue and call this a pullback, right? So, yeah, you need a pullback on this asset. A decent one, before you can look to re-enter this thing long. If you start entering it now, you're going to be trading up against exhaustion risk, and you don't want to do that. So let's also go look at it versus the Bitcoin. I got stopped out of this trade the other day. I was on this push lower. I was attempting to get long on ETH versus Bitcoin. That was a vicious move down on Friday, and I was looking at it as a buying opportunity. The reason being is this level right here, this price. 0.05000. And the crypto weekly outlook, I said that level has been a level in the past, at which point has made this asset wiggle around it a little bit. So essentially, any push lower into that price point, I was looking for long entries. All right, I got in on this push right here, on this lower push. I figured this was exhaustion right here. This last push down was to stop anybody out that got long too quick. So I got long on this push up. I was trading it with 5x leverage on Kraken with 100% of the account's equity. So I had a stop loss setting at right at 1%, which put me right real close to the low because of the extreme levered out position. So on this push lower, it took me out. This is my fault, as I should have waited for another test of support. Always 2 tests of support is a good thing to wait on. Not always, but you know, that's trading. You know what I'm saying? Get used to it. That's going to happen to you guys. You're going to get stopped out and watch it go in your favor, and it's going to hurt. Had I not gotten stopped out, obviously, I would be sitting pretty on this, but I did. So I will be looking for more pullbacks. I would love to get a pullback all the way back down to the 500 level. I don't know if I will get that, but if I do, I'm going to add probably some just cash. Nothing leveraged. Just a little bit of cash. I already hold a lot of ETH by itself, well, versus the dollar, I guess, and Bitcoin, but those are my hodl bags. I would like to add some more to this asset, especially right around this level. A lot of people are calling for a lot higher prices on ETH, right? And I agree. All right, let's go talk about the asset that is the most crappiest asset in the world, but seems to be making everybody rich, including myself. No, I'm kidding. I'm not getting rich off this. However, it has been a freaking fantastic trade. This morning when I looked at it, it was setting right at about 450% profit. 450%. That's insane. But that's what cryptos can do for you. Oh, my bad. It was 405%. 405. That's where it's setting right now. 405, not 450. So that's still fantastic. I took this trade. If you've watched my channel, then you've probably already know where I entered and everything and why. Basically, I was looking for this when we had this lower push down. I was looking for this as a retest of resistance, old support turning into resistance. So I got short on this asset right here. This took off on a Thursday. It was a nice trade to the downside. Once we stabbed into this support level down here is when I took off my position, the entire position. All right. I was looking for this trade to pull up and get stopped right here at your current old resistance level. You can see on one test we did. Second test, we broke over it. So I no longer looked at this with a shorting objective. Can't speak this early. So basically what happened is it was trading sideways and you put in this candle here. So at this point, I knew I was looking for a pullback into the new support. Let me get this over here, spread it out so you can see what I'm looking at, right? Which was this bearish candle, right? I was looking for a pullback into this, and I got long with my stop just beneath this wick on this candle, this bullish candle. So basically, you can see we traded sideways for a day or two and then had a push down. This is what that fake out stuff does. It makes people think that they're wrong. You never closed below support. Well, you did a little bit, but this thing is blotchy and gappy. But it pushed down. It did not stop me out. So we rode it to the upside, and this thing has just been going ever since. Let me refresh this back down. And I just been basically pulling my stop loss up. The first area I put my stop loss after we traded above the weekly level. This was the weekly level over here, right there. That was the weekly level, 3267. That's what I was looking at. Once we got that close above, then I brought my stop loss up to the last hourly support, right? Roughly around in here. So I've been letting it ride out. And that stop loss was setting at roughly around a 60% gain if it decided to roll over. Last night it looked like it was going to, as this was the first time we ever came in to make a new all-time high and rejected that hard on an hourly basis. So I thought maybe this thing was heading lower. So I moved my stop loss to right underneath this swing low right here. Just a little bit higher, just a little bit, to give it room. Because I told myself, if this thing breaks out above the all-time high with a strong daily close, this thing may look like ETH in the next few days. Look what happened to ETH once it cleared its all-time high. This was your all-time high on ETH. Once you got that breakout, consolidation above it, boom, you moved another huge percent above it. So that's what I'm looking for Doge. Depending on how today closes, will determine basically how I proceed with this trade. If it closes with a nice strongly daily candle, then basically I might bring my stop loss underneath this daily low. Maybe, I'm not sure yet, we'll see, and give it some room to grow and just take off to the upside. A lot of people are looking for $1 on this asset. I did a measured move and it puts it right close to $1. So if this breakout is legit and it is able to maintain its strength, you can see dollar prices on Doge. It is not that unrealistic. It would be a measured move. So moving on, I'm just going to let this thing keep going. I'm up 400%. So when you're in a winning position, you don't have to do anything. You can just sit back and watch as price goes in your direction. All right, let me catch up with some of these questions, as it looks like the connection is holding nice and strong. Nice and strong. Knock on wood. All right, go back to the beginning. Good morning, everybody. Afternoon from Saudi Arabia, says Jose Salazar. Welcome, Jose. Welcome, my friend. Morning, CTM, says Carl. So says everybody, basically. LTC Pop. Let's go look at it. That's from Lados 1. LTC Pop. I have Litecoin over here. I don't see it, so let's just go look at it. LTC USD. You didn't give me a ticker. Just said Litecoin, so I'm assuming you mean versus the dollar. You got a weekly resistance right here. I'll show you where I came to that conclusion. Excuse me, I'm burping because I'm down in a Red Bull and it's... Alright, so here's your weekly resistance level. When your last all-time high was put in on this asset back in the 2017 run up, that's your weekly resistance level. Alright, you did test that level a few weeks ago. Had a big drop. However, let's get rid of all these lines. I'll put the 2 weeklies back on there just so I can show you the price action, because you're here to learn how price action works. Because it's very simple to shape a strategy around this type of trading, as it gives you exact areas to look for. And this was the support level. Alright, so basically you got this support, ran up into it. That was acting as resistance. You got to pull back. You didn't quite pull back to your last area. You did pull back below this swing high just a little bit, and that was your chance to get long on this asset for a hodl for a couple weeks. This tested all your weekly resistance level, so a pullback and a rejection is normal on the first run up into a massive area. This is a massive area, as it is your last weekly closing price, the highest closing weekly price it has ever made. Therefore, there are a lot of selling orders sitting right there, whether it be from profit takers or new traders getting ready to jump in this asset looking for short side continuation. There's always a lot of orders sitting there, a lot of sell orders. So this pullback was absolutely normal. I want to direct your attention to your supports, all of them. You didn't even test, right? You tested this one right here, barely. You could have came all the way down to here and still maintained bullish posterity. This is what I'm saying. This was your last bearish weekly candle before you put in the run up. So a retest of that is a good spot to look for bullish entries. This was the trade on this asset. This was, all right? I haven't been looking at it for the last I haven't been looking at it, and no one's been asking me to look at it for the last few weeks, unfortunately, or we would have caught this. We would have absolutely caught this. Unfortunately, we did not. This was your trade, my friend. Now you must wait on this to either break out or reject again and look for another test of this level here. So we'll get rid of all these levels and put on this one. Boom. There you go. 274 spot 13. You want to see a weekly stab down and a weekly close above. You get a weekly close above that level, you could possibly look for bullish entries. You are trading at and near very volatile areas of the chart. Extended, really extended, like most every other asset in the crypto sphere right now. So just keep that in mind when you look for this entry. But I would not be trying to buy this anywhere up here, right? Because you are testing daily resistance right now. You have not broken it. You are merely testing it. And here is a daily level that coincides with this weekly level as well. So it looks like you've already gotten that test this morning or last night at 8 p.m. Once this candle opened, you got a test of this. I don't know if this was just a BART or if it's actual price action. Came down, tested your weekly level, aka your daily level as well. And boom, there you go. That was the trade right there. So now you got to wait for something like that again. Since this level's already been retested, and depending on how strong it is, if it continues to make higher highs and higher lows up here, then you will watch for a retest of 308.86, as that is your last daily resistance level on a breakout. Be watching this level here for a retest, and if it wants to maintain these higher prices, it should hold there. If not there, then back down here at 274. You lose that area, then you're looking for lower prices, and you could be going as low as 225 spot 25. So I hope that helps, my friend. Hope that helps. Dogecoin, please. We just went over. Long on pound dollar from 1 spot 38450. My stop loss on break even now. Thoughts? Let's go check it out, Mr. Ace. Let's go look at it. You are long from 138.450. All right, let me get rid of all these lines. 138.450. So I don't know where you are, so I will just simply do this. Alt H. Grab some coordinates. You said 138.450. And you said your stop loss is at break even now. Thoughts? Well, you didn't get stopped out on this push lower. I think you're situated good, my friend. I think you're situated good. This is your entry right here. I don't know why you took that entry. Maybe I know that you are up during the London Open, so maybe you took it over here on this break up yesterday. You came back down. You almost got stopped out, but you didn't. Basically, what you want to see now is you definitely want to see this price action on an hourly basis get taken out on an hourly closing basis. You are just now testing the underneath side of your zone, so to speak. The zone would be this body of this bullish candle. So you need an hourly closure above 1 spot 38854. If you get that, then you're sitting in good shape, right? Then that means your trade is probably right. And at the very least, momentum will carry you further. You're sitting on a 34 pip trade right now. That's generally what I look for on an intraday swing trade, or on an intraday trade. If I'm looking for a day trade only, 25 to 45 pips is a fantastic day trade. So your stop loss is setting at break even. What I would do is basically if this hourly candle's low gets taken out, like if you push back down beneath this, I would start to be thinking about taking that trade off. You know what I mean? There's no guarantee that it will come back down and stop you out. But if you lose your hourly support, this hourly structure here, chances are you're coming back down to test at the very least this level, right? And then this level down here, because you will have lost this level. So it's a fight right now. That's for sure. This is a fight. This is doing exactly what it's designed to do, which is to get people thinking it's going higher and thinking it's going lower at the same time. That way it can actually put in its real move and rip faces off. So you're sitting okay. Stop is at break even. You are in great shape as your risk is defined. You cannot lose any money. That's exactly where you want to be in a trade, in my opinion. Doing good job, Ace. That's a great job, my friend. Good morning. Hello. Thanks for sharing these valuable information with us, dude. You are welcome, Chuck Chai. Thank you for being here. Doge Father BSC is all you need at the moment. Don't be late. I don't know what Doge Father BSC is. Not clear. Carva Percy. What's your take on BNB? Says Ed D. Let's go look at it. BNB is been on fire, obviously. Been on fire. Let's go look at the daily. You got a fresh breakout to the upside on the daily chart. You came back in and you tested your old daily resistance, and so far it is holding. Looks like it's wanting to go higher. I would not be looking to take new entries on this, as it's pretty extended, right? But I mean, these things can continue to go higher. It means nothing when I say that it's extended. I'm only merely trying to point out the fact that you gotta make sure you understand these things. When you're buying up here, you're buying at highs. You could literally be buying the all-time high and the thing rolls over on you. I'm trying to teach you guys how to learn to find the better risk to reward opportunities that the market gives to us, as not everyone will be profitable. But if you can consistently nail 2 to 1s and do better than 40%, you're going to be a profitable trader. This looks like a measured move breakout, but extended measure move. From this breakout consolidation, another move higher, you're moving higher again. So let's see what you got as far as from this bearish candle, because this was your breakout point. So if we use that low to this high to this low, you are at 1 standard deviation from this last retest candle, all right? You are testing it right now, 1 standard deviation. So basically, yeah, 2 standard deviations is all the way up there at 1,000. But 2 standard deviations on a move this way, on a move this big, is it doesn't happen very often. I'm not going to go as far as say that it's very rare, because we're seeing it in a lot of crypto assets right now. So is it going to go higher? Looks like it wants to. It's retesting a daily breakout. That was a strong bearish 4-hour candle. It was pretty much an engulfing, right? I don't know if you did not take out this high, but that's a big enough push lower, and so close to that high, you can call it an engulfing if you want. And currently you're retesting it to see if he wants to go higher. Now, Doge put in something similar to this, right? It had that big ass move to the downside, but then boom, it got bought back up. If the 4-hour cannot get a closure above the midpoint range of this breakout, or at least this bearish candle, I would not be looking for bullish entries, all right? You are above the 50% mark of that bearish candle right now. All right, so that's your midpoint at 652.47. You need a 4-hour closure above that, or there's a good chance you're heading lower to find support at a lower price. Percentages would be a decent pullback in ETH would be about 25% on ETH USD. Yeah, I mean, 25% is a good pullback in crypto assets for sure. Yeah, for sure. 25%. Where would 25% put us? A ETH? Let's see. Yeah, it puts you right around your breakout. Your old all-time high, 25%. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that would be probably a nice pullback. Bitcoin got a little bit more of a pullback than that. This asset is obviously stronger than Bitcoin right now, but that can all change. Hello from Bali. What's up, Zendin? Heath, can you take a look at ADA and GRT? Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Oh, wait. Not both of them at the same time, though, right? All right. ADA is trading sideways. It did get a nice bullish bounce off the bottom. You did take out your daily resistance level. And that level has been tested as their support a few times. So you do not want to see a daily closure back below 1.26. Otherwise, you're heading lower. You got another level right there to look for support, 1.15969. As long as you're closing above this level, dude, you can look for buying opportunities. And that's about all I can say. I would only be targeting this wick high. This is going to be your first resistance level. If you do get a breakout above, you're going to be finding resistance at 1.45. So you might get a small pullback from there and then move higher. It looks like it's consolidating above support. If you break below and close below that support, you have failed. As long as you're consolidating above it, it's better than not. It's better than not, right? So that's what I got on ADA, and GRT wasn't looking that strong last time I looked at it. Yeah, you did get your daily closure above. You are maintaining your support hold. So far, it looks fine. This was your entry. If you were looking for longs on this asset, this was the entry. I wish I would have looked at this earlier. If you close a daily below that level, 1.49760, then you're done. The trade will obviously failed, but it's going lower, possibly down to test 1.26. This was the bullish entry. This was it. So now the only thing it is they're going to be looking for this level first. Once it gets up there, if it breaks out, it's coming all the way up here. 1.92. So this was your entry. Would I suggest taking the entry now, as it's already moved so far off of that level? Well, that puts you at a 1-to-1 to your first area of resistance. If you're okay with that risk, then yeah, it's still, you know what I mean? You could still possibly take the entry. You definitely want to get your stop beneath this bearish candle, right? So it's a 1-to-1. Here would be your entry, there would be your stop. This would be your first area that you have to get above. Like, that's why I say 1-to-1. Ultimately, if it does get above that resistance and head higher, then your trade is going to turn into a better than 1-to-1 risk to reward. I'm just saying, to your nearest resistance, you've got about a 1-to-1 risk to reward. So it's a 50% chance. It's up to you if you take it. That's what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it comes back down and tries to test lower today, as this is a daily candle. So this looks bearish to everybody else who isn't gifted. But in my opinion, it's still golden. This is the line in the sand, though. You start closing 4-hour candles below that, then your trade is scrapped. Right? Trade is scrapped. The near term, this is a little bit of bearish momentum, but it's not crazy bearish momentum like this, right? See the difference in this momentum versus this momentum. So yeah, I mean, it may be priming up for a bullish entry. I don't know. This is not financial advice. If you take any of these trades and you get stopped out, it's 100% on you guys. Remember this. Good connection, no buffering. How about I look at theta? Yeah, I know. Thank you, Cassidy Hurt. I can't believe it. It's amazing because it's the same exact thing that I always use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Unfortunately, it didn't Sunday. Absolutely. Let's go look at theta. USD maybe. Binance. KuCoin. Nah, it's Tether. Let's go look at it versus Tether. Because dollar and Tether is the same thing. Almost. You put in your all-time high, then you pushed above it, and then you sold off. So right now you have not penetrated above, you have not closed above your daily resistance level. That's at 11.75. However, you are consolidating right under it, so that is good, right? This bullish candle, I don't like the fact that it's so big. The range of it is. So what I would probably do is I would probably watch this swing high instead. That's going to be your first resistance level. Currently, your daily support is this bearish candle. So you don't want to see a daily closure below that. So you're trading, obviously you're consolidating in a tight range, right? This is going to be your first area of resistance. This is your current area of support. You had a big wick down that took out these wicks, which is good. And it's currently moving higher. It may be getting ready to take out this level. I don't know that it is, but this is generally what I look for. I look for a wick below your other wicks, basically a stop run, and then the price generally reverses, or sometimes reverses, not generally. Sometimes will reverse because they are buying into the liquidity down there, and you may get a higher push. And it's currently what it looks like it's doing. However, I would not take a position here, as your first resistance is right above your head. Second resistance would just put you at about a 1-to-1, as you would need to get your stop below this wick, as this was the stop run. And you've got to get your stop beneath the stop run. So you're looking at a 1-to-1 as well. And it's basically sideways coming off of a sell-off. So a lot of people are going to be shorting this, right? Because they're looking at this as a price leg to the downside. This is your retest to roll back over. However, it was bullish in the longer term, so this could just be a pullback for the bulls to get long, and this is a retest for higher prices. I would generally be looking bullish on the asset because it is shaped in a bullish direction. Whereas your moving average is in conjunction with current price, you're trading right above the 21, so you don't have a lot of bullish momentum. It's one that I'd probably wait on, to be honest with you. One I'd probably wait on, but it looks like it's trying to make a move higher. All right. EGLDUSD. Have a great day yourself, Alice. Good morning, Monique. EGLD. It looks exactly the same as the asset we just looked at, but you'd have closed above your daily resistance. So you are retesting it today, and it looks like it is trying to move higher, right? The momentum is to the upside from this swing low. There was more bearish pressure, but the bears would have been shorting it right here. They have failed. That doesn't always mean that it's going to go higher, guys. It just, when I take a look at price action, you got to think to yourself that it's a 50-50 chance. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody. So I'm not any special person that can tell you exactly what's going to happen. A lot of my stuff works out, but not always. Looks like it's trying to move higher. You tested support and you're trading away from it. I mean, it looks okay. Your next bearish area of resistance is going to be, next area bullish resistance would be 210, spot 67, this level up here. So, yeah, looks like it's wanting to go to 210. This is a nice strong close above support, or above old resistance. So, looks okay. Looks okay. If this is a bull trap, however, by tomorrow, you will be trading down here. If you are trading down here by tomorrow, then this was a bull trap. And then I'd be looking for more downwards continuation. As long as you're making higher highs and higher lows, you're heading up. Steve asks, hey bud, I have decayed into strong projects for the last 3 years and doing well, but I need to learn trading from the ground up. What do you recommend? Well, I recommend you start here, I guess. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. I'm not being big-headedness or anything, or egotistical, but I think you're going to learn a lot more on how the markets work by watching my videos. I know I'm not the most flamboyant guy out there, and the delivery is not fantastic. However, the info that I provide is hands down the best that you're going to find on YouTube without a sales pitch. You know what I'm saying? Most everybody else is going to give you just a little bit of info to keep you wondering and then offer you to buy their packages. So, yeah, I teach you how to do support resistance and price action. I am currently building the channel. Obviously, I trade, so most of my time is taken up doing that. But the channel's new. You know what I mean? I am putting out some strategy videos to basically help new traders from the ground up. There are a few already on the playlist if you want to go check that out. It's basically a playlist that says, if beginner trader, start here. I would start with that, and don't try to rush it, as it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take time. As long as you're okay with that and you're not expecting anything, you're not expecting to get rich tomorrow, you got a pretty good chance at getting it. But I don't, Jordan is the only other YouTuber that I watch when it comes to trading. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of them out there, and most of them, what I've been recommended, are garbage, in my opinion. Some of them aren't, but most of them are. Finding those rare gems is a tough task. You have found one right now, in my opinion. How much leverage do you use in Forex? How much leverage do you advise for beginners to learn from 1 to 20? Okay for small accounts. Thanks. He appreciate you always. All right, TCSP. Leverage is your friend, right? It can be your enemy if you're trying to get rich, if you're trying to over leverage your position to make a lot of money. Leverage offers you margin. That margin can be afforded to you to put on multiple positions, meanwhile only risking a small percentage of each trade, right? If you use the margin in that way, then in my opinion, it's okay to go up to 50 to 1, right? But you have to maintain that 0.5% loss. So if you take 5 trades, each one of them has to consist of a 0.1% stop loss. Margin, aka leverage, affords you the ability to do that, right? It gives you the ability to be able to take multiple positions in the same account. That's the proper way to use leverage. If you are taking over leveraged trades, like one trade using max leverage, and your stop loss is like, 8 to 10%, if you get stopped out, your account's going to get dwindled away very quickly. All right? So you have to get a strategy. You have to learn the platform and grow from there. I use leverage, but I use leverage to take multiple positions, as I risk 1% on each trade, and I never risk more than 5% in a given day. So sometimes I may have on 5 positions, but I can afford that risk. Can you? Because it's about what can you afford, not me. So look at leverage as a tool to help you instead of a tool to help you get rich, right? Leverage is your friend, unless, like I just described. And that's the way you got to look at leverage, my friend. Can you please check out XVGUSD? I will. I have to cut this video off here in about 3 minutes, though, because we are coming into the New York Open, and I definitely got other things to do. This will probably be my last one. Where was it? Where was that? I just had it and I lost it. Thank you, Ed D, for that playlist, my friend. Where did it go? XVGUSD. There it is. All right, XVGUSD. It looks good. Well, you haven't taken out this resistance, but you're trading on highs again, once again, right? This was just a high pushback, right? And you took out your daily support. Right now, you haven't taken out any main daily resistances, only because on this push lower, it didn't give you any. So right here is your last support level. You did get a daily closure above it, but just barely, and now you've traded down and also retested it on 2 occasions to test to see if it wants to hold as resistance, and it did. And the reason it did is because you got a lower low out of it. So, but it's coming into support. So you're trading in a very tight, narrow range, right? You need a breakout to the upside or to the downside to dictate current direction. This was a nice bullish push off the lows. So if I had to wager a gander, I would gander or guess that you're above your moving averages. You are. There they are. All right, so that's good. That means the bulls are slightly still in control of this asset. I would only be looking for longs. I would not be looking to short this. So this may have been your chance to get in. However, a second test would be phenomenally okay as well, right? You do not want to see you closing hourly candles below this hourly support level down here. This is your daily level, but this is your last hourly support level at the daily level. I hope I'm not being confusing. So if you get an hourly closure below 0.04773740, you can look at exiting that trade if you look to get long here. You definitely cannot lose this area on an hourly closing basis. Otherwise, your trade is scrapped, right? If you come back down here and bounce off and maintain that, that gives you an area to put a stop loss against, and you would only be targeting this up here. That would be a fantastic risk to reward, but it doesn't mean you will win. So if you do take that position, make sure you use a very small position, like 0.5%, so to speak. All right, guys, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to get to the rest of them. Unfortunately, I will be back on Thursday morning, same time, same bat channel. Make sure you guys show up for that. If you want to learn more, ask me more questions. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, you can drop them in the comment section of this video. I will get to them sometime today. I promise that. But you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And happy trading, everybody.